Dear Lord, bless us as we meet. Let the work done here today come to completion, and let it all be for your glory. Help us to do our part to bring the plans discussed to life. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which is one nation under God, indivisible, with justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas under God. Okay, we have the roll call.
Yes, sir. Kevin Kishnick.
Here.
Devin Bakta.
Here.
Susie Sullivan.
Here.
Ed Bennett. Caitlin Shu.
Here.
John Cudd.
Here.
Deanne Havlin.
Here.
Gabrielle Hilpo. James McGill.
Here.
Deborah Morin.
Here.
Melissa Vela.
Here.
Terry Noel. We have a quorum, sir.
Thank you very much. Call the meeting to order. The time is 10:02. The meeting of the Board of Directors of Nueces County Appraisal District will be called into order, and let the record show that the quorum of board members are present, that the meeting has been duly called, and the notice of the meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Government Code 551, and any conflict of interest affidavits have been received and placed on file as required by law. Do we have any public comment?
No, sir, at this time we don't.
Item number 6, discussion and or action on the consent agenda. A, approval of minutes of the August 14th, 2025 regular meeting, approval of the 2025 disbursements, receipt of the September 2025 litigation report, and receipt of the statement of expenditures as of August 31st, 2025. Do we have any board members that have any questions concerning any of those items? If not, I'll take a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
John Cudd makes the motion, and Susie Sullivan makes the second. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And next, we have the Taxpayer Liaisons Officers Report.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Thursday. So far. Okay, ARB hearings, they have a hearing scheduled September 8th through October 3rd. They've been very busy. It's been a week in 3 days, but they've been very busy taking care of business. Every appraisers have been up there readily available, and everything's been going relatively smoothly. So that's a good thing. They have a couple days 3 days in October and 3 days in November that are also scheduled, and then off until February of 2026. So, but they're working very hard. Just as an aside to that, I was looking at it this morning, and near as I can tell, aside from the ARB members who need to reapply because their terms are coming to an end, there will be 10 actual vacancies on the ARB this year. Oh, yeah, that's what I said. So far, I have one application. So fingers crossed that we're getting the word out. Irma has been wonderful about getting the advertising out, and hopefully, and people have been telling their friends and neighbors. So if you know anybody, I have my fingers crossed. I wanted to have this all ready for you to appoint in October, but I don't know that that's going to happen. It may end up going to November. We'll see. But 10 is a lot. Anyway, the other part of my report, I felt that you all needed to be aware of the petition challenging the exemption that was granted to the company from San Antonio. And Mr. Tiller is here, happy to answer any questions about that. They filed the petition, and Mr. Tiller contacted the ARB attorney, Karen Evertson, and for guidance as to what to do with this. And according to multiple tax codes, it was not filed timely, and it was not heard. The code says they have to be, those petitions have to be heard by July 20th. It specifically says July 20th. So needless to say, it was not heard, but it also has to be filed by June 1st or 15 days after the rolls are turned over to the ARB, which this year was June 12th. I'm sorry, May 12th. So it would have been either May 27th or June 1st, whichever is later. It wasn't filed until August 11th, Mr. Tiller, August 11th. So based on the code, the ARB attorney's recommendation was to not set it for hearing and not make a determination, and so that letter was sent back to the county. We wanted you to know about that because we're sure if you haven't already, you will hear about it. So we just wanted that to, you guys to be aware that that's what's, yeah.
What's the other process? Just basically dead at that point, or could they possibly litigate it, or what?
The only, and Mr. Tiller and I were actually talking about this morning, if it's a property owner, they have the option to file limited binding arbitration, which really deals with the ARB not following model hearing procedures. And so they would have to say, okay, we were denied a hearing that we rightfully had the option to, and
That didn't happen.
I don't even know if the taxing entity can file limited binding arbitration. I don't think they can, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe let's not give them any ideas.
Yeah, but I don't think, but again, the ARB didn't deny them a hearing that they were entitled to, so they would probably not have that option anyway, so.
Okay.
It's all gonna be interesting. Any questions about?
Nope.
No? Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, item number 8, discussion and/or action regarding the annual evaluation taxpayer liaison officer.
So, waiting back from a few to complete the form. I've also put them in your binder, just so you can fill them out as you go today during the meeting. Once we have all the forms completed, I will compile them, and then I can give you a report on that.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
I need a motion to table that item.
Motion.
Motion by Devin.
One second.
Second by James McGill. All in favor? Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And receive an update on the 2024 financial audit.
Morning, everyone. I think I last stood in front of you guys in July, giving an update on the audit. The audit update is pretty much the same today. There's still a few open items that we've requested and are yet to receive to complete the audit. Once that information is received, that we'll be able to complete the audit shortly thereafter. So at this point, I know we've been in constant communication regarding the items, and we're just hopeful to receive those soon. Once we get them, we should be able to wrap it up.
Thank you very much. And do we need to table this item as well? Okay, so I need a motion to table item number 10. Excuse me, item number 9. 9. Motion by John Cudd, second by Devin. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much. All right, and receive a report identifying current appraisal district contracts.
So, you requested a 6-month out update on the contracts that are coming up for renewal. I've highlighted in a dark gray. It's going to be our printing contract for the Master's Touch in January. We've communicated with them. We're waiting for a response on the new pricing. Hopefully it doesn't go up, but we'll see. And that one is due in January. Also, our ESRI contract, it's not a contract, it's a subscription that we have for our GIS department. That comes up in February. We are also wanting to see about maybe decreasing some licensing to decrease maybe the cost. So we're going to have a rep out here to guide us with that as well. That is the only company that we can go with. They are a DIR contract. The other company is for engineering. So.
Okay.
And as we go along, I'll continue to highlight the ones that are coming up.
Okay.
Good.
And there's no action on that item, so we'll move right along to item number 11, receive Chief Appraiser Ramiro Ronnie Canales letter of retirement effective on January 1st, January 1st, 2026. And all board members, I think you have, if you look on that item, the official letter is in there, and I just need a motion to accept. Is that correct? Need a motion to accept?
Make a motion to accept.
Susie makes a motion to accept.
Second.
Second by Caitlin. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. All right, and discussion and or action regarding process for replacing the chief appraiser. And that would be,
You said that was public, that's it.
do we need to do that in executive session perhaps, or first?
I don't know.
I think what I'd like to do is,
Yeah,
I think I'd like to have that under, I'd like to move on to executive session first.
Okay.
We'll come back to item number 12 because there may be some information we need to discuss before having that discussion. So, let me see if there's anything else we need to do. No, all right. All right, the time is now 10:12. We will go into executive session. Public notice is given that the board of directors may elect to go into executive session anytime during the meeting to discuss matters listed anywhere on the agenda when authorized by the Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. Should the board of directors elect to go into executive session, the section or sections of the Open Meetings Act authorizing the executive session will be publicly announced by the presiding officer. Upon completion of executive session, the board of directors may take such action as appropriate in open session. Consultation with the board attorney in deliberation regarding employment evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of chief appraiser under Texas Government Code 551071 and 551074, and to discuss Nueces County Appraisal District security measures related matters. Texas Government Code 551.089. And we will now go into executive session. 10:13. All right, and so we are going to go to item number 14, discussion action relative to items discussed in executive session, and there is no action for item number 13. And then we're going to go back to item number 12, discussion or action regarding to process for replacing chief appraiser, Ryan Canales. And I'm going to start off with just some suggestions. Wait a minute, Mr. Cudd. Mr. Cudd's not back. I'll hang tight till he gets here.
He's coming.
Is he coming?
Yes.
Steps are getting closer.
Welcome back, Mr. Cudd. All right, we're on item number 12. Just first and foremost, I know there's been lots of rumors just for the public who have been wondering if I've been doing the things I've been doing to get this job, and no, I'm not. I have absolutely zero desire to be the chief appraiser. I'm not qualified to be the chief appraiser, and I have actually worked on some legislation to help roll out those items for qualifications for the chief appraiser. And so, yes, that is not something that I will be applying for or have ever desired to apply for. So that I'm just putting that on the record. So with that being said, we need to just want to open up some general discussion on how we want to be going for the dealing with the process going forward. And do we want to do a search? Do we want to hire the existing interim chief appraiser? And let's just start with that.
I can start. I think we're all put in this position for a reason on this board, and part of that is to be prudent in all the decisions that we make. So I do believe that we need to go out and search. And Deborah's sitting right here. We want you to apply for that position as well, but we want to make it fair and open, I think, to everybody involved and push that more.
Yeah, I think that's best practice.
Okay. Any other concerns? And what about when do we want to do that? And how do we want to get this done?
I think we should have some sort of committee of the board to help with posting, correct? I think
Job
that's
description.
yeah, job description, salary benchmark. We should ask Tad probably,
Okay.
or
Yeah, Tad can certainly do that. And they can also certainly help us with salary surveys. I think that needs to be part of it, so we know what the salaries are going to be, kind of what's being paid out there right now. So we're in line with that, especially for people for our market. And so I think that's something we could actually ask Jennifer to assist us with. And then who would like to be part of that little committee on putting that process together? Because I would like to have this ready to go by our October meeting. Because we do, time is of the essence. Ronnie's retirement's effective on January 1, and that'll come fairly quickly. So
Would this committee also be helping to review the applicants?
Yes.
or resumes
you would want to review the applicants, but of course, all those applicants would come to the
With
board.
Jen?
I'd like to be part of it.
Okay, so Deanna,
I don't mind.
all right, Devin, who else? All right, so Deanna, James, and Devin will work on that committee and along with Jennifer and putting those getting that information together and looking for that. Any questions, concerns, comments, anything else? Any other discussion?
I would just like to say, I want to echo what Devin and Caitlin said, that I think it's not, I personally am really happy with what Deborah is currently doing, but I think just best practice for the taxpayers and the entities to make sure that we know, what's out there and that we're giving making the process as transparent as possible.
Okay, well, thank you. All right, so I guess the action will be to establish the committee and work in conjunction with our HR specialist, and so I need a motion to that effect.
I'll make a motion.
John Cudd makes the motion,
Second.
second by Susie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. All right, moving on to item number, I guess, We're on item number 15, interim chief appraiser's report.
Hello. I will start with our conference that we recently attended, the TAAO 86th Annual Conference in August. We had 5 employees in attendance, one of which was Miss Yasmin Sanchez. She's our exemptions department coordinator. She was the recipient of the Rising Star Award. And that's typically where nominees are selected by different people in the organization of TAAO on up-and-coming people in the industry. The last time that CAD received an award in this capacity was Melissa Vela. When she was first on board at the CAD, she also was a recipient of the Rising Star Award. So I wanted to make sure to give kudos to Yasmin and her manager, Christy Hill, and for the great job that she does. She was recognized. So our CAD was recognized. There were 5 nominations. And we have 254 counties in the state of Texas. So
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That was great.
She used to work for me, by the way.
She still works.
also wanted to mention that at that same conference, there is the Institute of Certified Tax Administrators. I'm sure you're familiar with that, of the Texas Association of Assessing Officers. They did issue a certificate of appointment to me for certified tax administrator, so I'm happy about that. It was given to me on August the 24th, and happy to have that as part of my resume, if you will.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Moving on to update of the 38th Ad Valorem Legal Seminar in San Antonio. It'll be September the 17th through the 19th. Melissa Vela and Belinda Person and myself will be in attendance for that seminar. Immediately after that, it seems, public investment funding training. That is something that is by government code required of the financial administrator and or the chief appraiser. And so Irma Vera and I will be in attendance. It will be on October the 1st through the 2nd. And I believe it's in Dallas. So we're signed up for that. All right. Moving on to item D, board member appointments. The appraisal district did send the letters out to each of the entities on August the 1st. So all entities received the letters for participating taxing entities eligible to appoint NCAD board members. That term, the term for 2 appointed board members will be ending this year, and that's Mr. Devin Bodka and Ms. Kathy Hill. They were appointed to serve a 1-year term starting January 1st, 2005, ending on December 31st, 2026. No, 25. Sorry. Using the same process that was used last year, the entities will need to make director appointments for the appointment process. And so just a quick timeline, if somebody's asking from your who you're representing, your entity. So like I said, August 1st, the chief appraiser sent out the notices for voting entitlement. October the 2nd, the nominee resolutions and the attachment 1 and 2 that were sent out are to be sent back to CAD by October 2nd. October the 9th, the chief appraiser will send out the ballots to the entities. And then November the 28th, voting resolutions must be received by NCAD. Then on December the 5th, the district will send voting results to entities and candidates. So that's a quick update on that. Also wanted to mention an update on the circuit breaker. So that was where back in the 88th legislative session instituted the circuit breaker for non-homesteaded properties of a value up to $5 million, I believe. So that was set to expire in 2026. But in this 89th legislative session, I think it's going to go to a vote. So November elections, that will be an item on the ballot where they can vote to extend it. So just wanted you all to be aware of that.
So it'll be part of this constitutional election.
Yes, yes. Okay. And then we have auction of office furniture. So on the third floor, which I'd like to extend an invitation to any of you all who have time or would like to see what we actually have on the third floor. We've got a lot of older furniture that was moved out, that the newer furniture back purchased in February, March was replaced. So we've got a public surplus list for some of the items that are still usable. We're going to put those items on public surplus for a period of time to see if anybody wants to buy them. But we also have an extensive list inventoried of items that are not usable. So we'll be disposing of those. I've received 3 bids for removal, and one of them was Save Our Shores Junk Removal Company for $5,953. One was Camacho, and that was $3,500. And one was Texas Junk Removal for $2,400. So we'll be utilizing the Texas Junk Removal for $2,400. And I'm scheduling this process before September the 26th. So like I said, I'd like to invite any board members, if you want to take a look at what I'm actually talking about, I'll be happy to show you. Okay, so and I believe that's all I had.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. All right, moving on to item number 16, suggested items for next regular meeting.
We wanted to get an update or talk about the RFP process for the CAMA system.
Okay, yeah, next RFP for the it's RFP, right? RFP for the CAMA. We're at, and hopefully maybe have that going. What else? Any other items from the board?
So you said, when we were talking about the search and what you wanted by the October meeting. So we're expecting that to be,
Yes, so
In there.
the search will be on the October meeting, and hopefully we can have an action item to actually start that search now.
so that means they would need to have like the salary survey. Well, I was just thinking about what things are gonna have to be. I mean, will that committee bring like a recommendation to the board to say this
Yes.
is the, okay,
Yeah, you'll be bringing a recommendation to the board
Okay.
for those items based on what
Okay.
you discovered. And then we'll take action on those recommendations.
I would think that we probably need to put job description, salary profile, et cetera.
Yeah, and just work with work with HR on that. And HR
isn't
specialist.
that the meeting that you said you weren't gonna? make?
Yeah, I won't be at the October, oh, yes, and so we need to talk about the date for the October meeting. Because I want to make sure everybody else can be here. I will not be present at that October meeting as of work conflict. So, meeting, I think it's set for October the 9th. Yes, and I won't be here, so. So is everybody else gonna be able to make the October meeting on the 9th?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, so we'll just keep trucking along, and then, I guess Devin, you'll be presenting that. And then, any other items? All right, we need a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Anybody second?
Me.
Deanna. Second by Deanna. All in favor? All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys have a good